This is Ben Cohen, and together we're going to show you an exercise called the power move. We call it the power move because it actively engages the hamstrings, the glutes, the abdominals, and the core. And in 1 minute you get a great isometric exercise from all of those muscles all at the same time, simulating a power movement. So we're going to mount the machine exactly like we did in the internal hip rotation. And he's going to position himself exactly as he would in hip rotation. So he places the front part of his heel over the hole in the machine. He places all the weight over that foot. He balances, and then he puts his foot up on the front plate. And then what Ben is going to do, which is going to be different than internal hip rotation, is he is going to just relax his pelvis. Before, we used his pelvis as the anchor to movement of the hip. Now we're going to use the hip as the anchor to movement for the pelvis. So he is just going to rotate his hip into 20 degrees. He's going to look down at the degrees monitor, which is that little black tab that you see moving. Ben, go ahead and back off and then move it in again. He's going to look down, find his 20, and move that little black tab to 20. This position is held throughout. That's his anchor against movement. If this position goes down to, let's say, 10 degrees, he will be doing half the effort that he would have been doing. The next thing Ben is going to do from this position, holding that 20 degrees with his hip, is he's going to rotate into the posterior pelvic tilt. In other words, he's going to flatten his back onto the back plate. He's going to hold that position for 20 seconds. At the end of that 20 seconds, without releasing the tension at 20 degrees of his hip joint, and this is a very subtle move, he's going to get into a more deep posterior pelvic tilt where his low buttocks come completely away from the machine. And he's going to rotate those buttocks as much as he possibly can. This is just a different form, a higher degree of posterior pelvic tilt. After another 20 seconds of holding this position, again maintaining that 20 degrees inward hip rotation, what Ben is going to do is he's going to bring his pubic bone as close as he can to his navel. And this reportedly is one of the best core exercises many athletes who have been doing core all their life have ever felt. He's going to hold that for 20 seconds, and at the end of 20 seconds he's going to relax his hip joint, relax his pelvis, go back to the starting position, step off of the answer, and walk around for about 20 seconds. Again, every single time we do an exercise on the answer involving the hip, the low back, or the leg, we want to walk around to help the body memorize this new feeling and new position.